how important is money in a relationship?
Be pretty, stay at home, take care of the kids. Stop preaching.
Stop preaching. Would you remain friends with your ex?
Guys, niggas really appreciate respect and peace.
If you apologize like Ami Faku, I will always forgive you.
Because intimacy is not just that. Intimacy goes beyond just that point. So you need to also know how to be with your partner besides that. And you need to have that intellectual understanding.
How important is money in a relationship?
Money it's important in that when you actually are dating for marriage and stuff, and the marriage thing comes to play, money has to be involved there. But I'm sure that also usually though when people talk about money in relationships, they're talking about actually making the relationship nice, of life, spend money on each other, doing stuff and that. All I'm saying is that if I was to date right now, I'd probably be dating a student, and chances are you don't have money, and it's like, that's what I'm saying. So it's always been tricky for me when girls are like, they want right now in university, and they are looking at a dude that is in university who doesn't have a side hustle or anything, and you don't have to have that, and that's okay. But like they look at them and then they want like someone's gonna pay for nails and hair and stuff. In the relationship, and I'm like, but you can't afford it either. But you expect him to be able to afford it when you're in this exact same situation though. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Futuristically, it is important in terms of make sure that you are working towards planning to have money one day at the end, so that when you actually propose to her, you have money for the ring, lobola, whatever the case may be.
You need a ring, you need to buy it. I'll think you like a packet ring.
Some people have 2 carats pen and you don't see but it's a whole 2 carat on her finger, guys. Okay, but guys, I have a question. I've seen a lot of times with the way people view lobola guti, he must be the one to save. You can't pay for your own lobola. But do you really think that if you guys are planning to get married and you've put a certain time, would it be wrong if one time you throw in 1,000 if you have money, or you throw in
1,000 into what?
Also the savings
for
him to
lobola.
And it's also just moving forward. Also when you plan for the wedding,
as
you
well,
don't
just
have
for
to
your
pay for
savings
anything.
in general, because
Like
another
have a
time-
savings account where it's just the both of you and throw money in there. And
I don't know, guys. I really believe in that. The lobola thing, he needs to work it out on his own. What I can do is also be saving on my side, because obviously at the stage we're all in life right now, we're early mid-20s, we're just getting going in life. So as soon as Anta Mahadi, his savings are gone, we need something to live off. So maybe you can save for that period. But I don't know about helping him, putting in something
then what if
to
it
pay
takes
for
him
you.
10 years again?
how do you do that?
And you can help. You're in a position where you can help.
I don't know. I'm just
money
strongly
comes
against into yogu's lobola basically. Men bazokujikela kusasa he'll tell you that phela uzlobolile, and I don't want that. Girls.
All I'm saying is that
I'm just saying Christian men are also
I think at the end of the day, y'all are planning your future. It shouldn't, like, certain things should not
It's not
really
just
be
him.
dependent on him.
It's
At the end
both
of the
of
day,
you
it's
guys.
your family that's demanding the 100K. Yeah, now why can't you, like, there's some families where they don't even want to meet him in the middle to understand with your child needs to still eat after that. Your child needs to still do
Guys, but do you understand? Makhisho ilobola nawe phela kumele ushweleze umkhulumele umuntu wakho ukuthi ayi phela guys, we need to.
She's just basically saying, Utena, you have to actually just have his back during the negotiations and talk to your family and be like, yo, dude, this is where he's at, and this is where he's at. This is what he can afford. This is what he can't. But please just be a little easier on him. Like be on his corner.
If I had a choice, Lobola Vela must be gone.
We went to Lobola when I was just asking about money in a relationship.
Because that's how
in
important
a
it is.
yeah, no, yeah. Okay, next question: is there a way, or is it possible for your brother in Christ to get out of the friend zone, or the brother in Christ?
I want you to start there. Right now, as I'm doing the whole trusting God and persevering and stuff, it's also just, educating myself on this whole dating. What does God want that to look like when I do it? Next time and whatever. But it's just been like, I've realized that because I do have a few guy friends, and I'm like, the best way that I've gotten to know them inside out, through and through, is through the friendship. So now I've been struggling so much with the concept of not being able to come out of the friend zone, because it's like, it's because I'm your friend and I'm really learning so much about you, and I see how we are working together, and we really do build a relationship that is so well balanced. Right? And we meet each other in our shortcomings even. Like, I have friends who literally, when I'm down and out, they're there, and vice versa. And it's like, we already want to see each other flourish and all that happiness. Why do you just not think that could evolve to anything more? It doesn't make sense to me that for everyone it's just like, no, friend, once you're in the friend zone, you cannot get out. Doesn't make sense for me. For me, you can get out of the friend zone.
I was in the friend zone,
And then
currently we are.
he pulled you out.
Yeah, I feel like guys, for me, it's like, for me to just drool for you and be like, oh my goodness, this gent. I have to be your friend. I don't want to know you from just having 2-minute conversations with you outside of church, after church. I don't want to, I really need to know you in depth. I need to know how you think. I need to know where you are stubborn in order for me to actually see if I have potential with this person. Either way, guys, there's hope. This friendship, like, I feel like it's a worldly thing with, see, I want you in the friend zone, you're never gonna come out. It's a lie. Because at the end of the day, the friendship, once you're in a Christian relationship, is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Celibacy plays a really big role. And you guys can't do certain things that lovers do. So if you have that mentality, because this person is my friend, Shem, you even feel disgusted sometimes. None of them. No, you feel disgusted to do the idea, because the friendship is the foundation. So sometimes my words, I'm sorry. Like, the friendship is the foundation, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You understand? You guys don't want to push boundaries, but yeah, moral of the story is friendship is important.
It's the one.
And that you can get out of the friend
You can
zone.
get out of it.
Apparently, allegedly.
I'm just so how we started with my husband.
You better recognize.
So we didn't start as friends, guys. Let me just be honest. But now we're friends, of course. I liked Emmanuel. He liked me. We went on dates, and then we just started dating. After like a month, right? So there was no friendship.
To be direct.
But look at me now.
Look at you now,
Look at me. Hey,
So it's different for many people.
Yeah. I feel like every love story really has its own, wavelength or whatever.
But bottom line, you can get out of
You can get out of the
Because
friendship.
friendship, like, getting out of the friend
the
zone might be your story. You
Yeah.
got out the friend zone.
Exactly. Next question. Do you guys believe in gender roles? And if so, what do you think is your role as a woman in society and in a relationship?
Housewife.
Be pretty. Stay at home.
Take up the
Take care of
kids.
the kids.
The problem
Do you
with
guys
staying
believe-
home is that you must have the kids.
Hey.
She doesn't like
I don't mind. Guys, I don't mind him.
I don't like them.
It's
It's how they come.
Hey.
I believe in gender roles. I'm not sure about how that plays out though in terms of society. Like, I feel like they start and end by the gate of my house. One day.
Okay.
I feel like the gender roles will start and end. Like, the minute I go into my house, all of a sudden, do or whatever, But the minute I come out, I don't think I'm gonna be out. Like, I'm out here being a wife to. I'm not a wife to everyone, babe. I won't be a wife to everyone. Like, at home, I am submitting to my husband, who is my leader.
How does that look like, submission?
So, okay, so from what I've read up on in terms of the Bible, it's like, first of all, you have to pick the person that you trust, and you trust to lead you, right? And it looks like that person, trusting that person to make decisions, final decisions for the household as a whole, whether or not you agree with him. But if he still is like, I know you don't agree with me, but I feel like this is the decision for us as a family. You support him in that. Whether or not, and Futhi in that, Futhi, submission is not putting it in his face, Futhi, I told you so. Don't come with that energy if his decision failed, you know. But also, Futhi, as a woman who's submitting, is you put your input. Genuinely put your input. Don't not say anything, because you are able, you have the rear view mirrors, you have everything else. He's on the driver's seat, but when you, as a person just did, you can see in the rear view mirrors, sometimes he forgets to check. And you can see things that he can't see. And you just show him that. And hopefully he also picked a woman he respects and respects her opinions, that when you do show him something that is legit, he will respond to you in a way of, yes, I get that, I'm gonna acknowledge that, and I'm gonna take that into consideration. Or he's even gonna forget his idea because, there's too many risks and you've shown me that. Submission looks like, okay, it depends on how you guys also have decided to run the house. Right. So if you have decided, the whole housewife thing and everything, it is supporting, making the house a place for him. Like, guys, honestly, guys, be his peace. Guys, there's something about, guys, niggas really appreciate respect and peace.
First thing.
Respect. The minute you disrespect a man, it's done, guys. Like, that is like respect and peace. Like, when he comes around you, there must just be peace. Like, talk to him, not at him. You know, it's things like that, guys. Like, honestly,
Moral of the story is that the Bible says, women respect your husband, and husbands love your wives. That's
Just as Christ
love the church.
Amen. Love her.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
Next question. Someone asked it. It's at im.enda.zw. He asked, why do Hans ignore our feelings in reality, but on socials they preach a man can this and that? Example, cry.
I want to first say, on behalf of every woman, ask peace. Because I'm thinking this question might come from experience. But what I want to say as well is that try to create an open channel of emotions with your partner, because they should not belittle you for crying. If you want to cry, cry. Because whatever they did, whatever is going on is hurting you. Because I don't think it only relates with something that I did. It could be that they're going through like a really tough time in life, school, and everything like that. So try to have a companion who is there for you, both emotionally, okay, not physically because you're not married, but emotionally. Like, they are there for you. When you want to cry, they're on your shoulder. When you need a hug, they are there. You know, they should not make you feel like weak because you dropped a tear. If you need to drop a tear, drop it. Because sometimes that's the best way to move on from situations, by just crying and then feel your tinte and then be like, I need to move on. I need to go to the next stop in life. So yeah, I'm sorry if some woman or someone out there made you feel like you are weak for crying, but you're not. Because that means you are able to identify certain emotions in you that you need to release, which is a good thing.
I'm sorry, my baby.
Can I just add 2 cents to what she said? First of all, I agree with everything that she said. Secondly, I think it's important to zoom in on everything that already we've said as a collective. The fact that, number one, Nomi said, who are these people that y'all are dating? You know, like examining the person that you're dating, not saying Hans in general, but the person that you're with. And then secondly, the idea that was raised up of building like a solid, good friendship with your partner. You know, Mo mentioned that her relationship started off as a friendship, but Muyi says hers didn't start like with a friendship. They just went into it, but then now they've become good friends. I think like within a relationship, when you guys have established that friendship, you know what I mean? There's no now a sense of, you know, yeah, we know that you must, you know, it's just that thing of, you know, when you are feeling vulnerable, when you're feeling emotional, your feelings and your emotions, they are hurt because this person is not coming from a place of, oh, you know that I must, but it's like you are their genuine friend, you know, they genuinely care and love you, and that's on her.
That's not her. Next question. Is it harder for a woman to move on after a breakup? Or, yes, is it harder for women to move on after a breakup? If so, why? Or why not?
It's hard for everyone, we can.
Nah?
Especially if the relationship was like for so long. You know, you guys have built so much of each other, in each other. So it becomes hard because you might find that I have a certain characteristic that I got from my partner. Because when you're with someone for so long, guys, I always tell people exactly what I've read about being in a relationship is that you also tweak yourself. Like if he says, I really don't like the fact that you do this, it makes me feel somehow because of certain traumas that I've had in the past. You tweak it in yourself, even though it's something that you grew up doing. You start changing it. So
it's a compromise you're willing
exactly.
to
So certain things about you when you leave the relationship have him in you. So it becomes hard when you need to detach, you know.
Yeah.
When you, if you guys used to laugh at the same jokes, now when someone makes that joke, you can't laugh because it bothers you. I feel like it's for everyone, not necessarily for men or for women.
Yeah.
As long as you're a human being and you're not a psychopath, I'm sorry, because psychopaths can move on. No, psychologically they're not really attached to anyone. So I'm talking about the whole psychological term of a psychopath.
Okay.
Yeah. So unless if you're not like a normal human being, sorry for saying that. But
You crying?
No, there's something in my eye.
I keep looking at your.
But if you're not one, dude, all of us, we go out of the relationship holding certain baggage.
Yeah.
I don't think to detach from.
I don't think it's a gender thing. It's not easier for a man and it's not easier for a woman. Like it depends on the relationship, like the type of relationship that you come from.
It might also have something to do with the fact that, and I'm generalizing here, forgive me, but for guys, for them, most of the time, moving on means moving on with someone else.
Another, yeah.
And for girls, we tend to take that time to like detach, but that's why you get someone being in a whole new relationship and they're still looking back at their ex. So it's not a gender thing, I agree. It's just that we do it differently.
Oh, and something else, maybe the reason why sometimes it may look like it's easier for a woman to do it is because there is a tendency that women will be done before it's done.
I mean,
that happens. Like it really does happen.
That's true.
Like she'll tell you a few times. It's a fence. This thing you're doing. And then you don't listen, and then there'll be a period where she just goes quiet, and you think things are fine, but like she's just done talking. And then in that period of time, it's like, okay, fine. How much longer am I going to be patient? My patience has run out, and then she's done. And then when you hear about it, and that's when she comes to you and says it's over. You'll be so surprised by how firm she is in her decision, because it's like I really prayed on this and sat on this for 2 months while you were not listening to me.
Yeah.
So that might be a reason why. And for dudes, if men are not invested,
And you know what they say? I don't know who says it, but you know what they say? They say that it's not that people fall out of love with you. But what happens is they get tired of hearing I'm sorry. It's not that I stopped loving you, just hearing you say I'm sorry over the same thing 10,000 times. It just gets me to be like, you know what?
But if you apologize like Ami Faku, I will always forgive you.
I like baby. Who wouldn't forgive someone? I know.
You don't say so. I'm petty like that.
I need to make sure
you're a child of God.
Your forgiveness.
You who sins are forgiven.
I know. You get tired.
No.
I'll forgive you, but I'll forgive you with
77 times 7. One day.
Yeah, I forgive you, but over the year.
No, guys, forgiveness does not mean stay.
Yeah,
that is not forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's not forgiveness. Doesn't mean stay. So
I'll forgive you for saying those things, but I'm leaving.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, next question. How do you guys handle celibacy?
One thing.
Resort
to
trust in the Lord. Okay.
One thing I just
question. Yeah.
Mr. Lou.
We feel it. It is here.
We're praying for you, my brother.
It is not easy, but I feel like it's way more hectic for gents than it is for girls. But it is.
That's a misconception as well.
Okay,
That is a
for
misconception.
me personally, even when we know we've had this topic.
Yeah. What? She's a special case. Let me just emphasize it.
Like for me, when I hear people saying this is
Like, guys, me.
Guys, why are you dying? Why are you dying?
Guys, when it comes to this topic, my goal is to be more. That's me.
That's your
It's my goal. Is to be more.
disgusted.
No.
No, it's not that I'm disgusted, guys.
I'm joking, man.
It's okay.
I'm going to stick
It's okay,
with
but
my
it's a
safe
joke.
answer. Group work.
Yeah.
Guys. Yo.
And
And
also-
the less it's just the two of you, the better.
No, you guys can be just the two, but make sure that you're not the two in isolated places.
Yeah.
Like go to the park. Movies are very hectic.
The park.
Go to like no. A park if there are like people in there. Don't go to those parks where it's just the two of you guys and you really see someone passing. No. Go to public places, guys. Public places where you know really you really have to represent the Lord. Like when the devil shoots, it'll be way harder.
Yeah, some people do it even in public.
Guys, then I don't know anymore.
Guys, the first thing, guys, Jesus at the center.
Amen.
The first thing of your life, of his life,
Amen.
Jesus at the center of it all.
Are you done? And
So,
finished?
sense of your life, sense of his life. Make sure that it's to the point of you really are seeking to walk in his righteousness, guys. Like to walk, Jay. So that when you come together, you're on the same page and you're both as convicted about this thing on the same level. Don't be unequally yoked on the matter, guys.
Yeah, we're humans.
Sorry, no. Listen, no. What I'm saying though, in terms of the how much it matters to you and how much you actually want to do it, wanting to do that, the level of wanting to go through with that. So then, in that case, it's like when you do actually talk about being in the how you actually gonna go about it, like being in the public spaces and all of that, and maybe to the point that if you find that even hugging is an issue,
Yes.
like it matters to him, like because you're on the same page, it won't be like this woman won't even hug, but like it's like because you're on the same wavelength of we really want this to work out, you're both at the point of I will do absolutely anything
But
to make sure this works out.
As a single woman now, how do you deal with celibacy?
As a single woman, group work. She said group work, guys.
Play
Anything.
table tennis at church. Don't play with single people. Play table tennis at church. Just don't be like my chat, guys. Is you are attracted to this person. You know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in a situation where you feel free to do things that you're not supposed to be doing. That's what I'm saying.
And then
And it's not easy. Can we just go there?
It's hard.
It's not easy.
yes,
But
and
it needs to be done. Until that ring is on your finger,
Yeah.
it needs to be done.
definitely. Whatever door you open will be very hard to shut, guys.
Amen.
Obviously, all of us we agree that it's not easy. But then number one, as Zintle said, I feel like I'm just here for summaries and conclusions. Number one, as Zintle has said, group work. Do you understand? For your own self, like as a woman, like having people to keep you accountable, like get into your word, you know what I mean, and have people that you Bible study, all these things with, you know what I mean. People that you can literally spend time with as a single, so that you don't feel that thing, oh, somebody is somebody.
Yeah.
No, because you don't need that at the end of the day. Secondly, that whole idea of Mo mentioned it earlier, that looking at your brothers and sisters in the Lord, like through the lenses of Christ. Do you understand? Like, so even if you are in a relationship with this person, understanding first and foremost that their purity is in your hands or whatever, you know what I mean? It's dependent on you. So not a thing of, oh wow, we all fell, but like make it like an intention to preserve their purity as well, as you would like them to preserve your purity as well. Just to add a little bit of spice to that. there's a book that I'm reading. It was speaking on the subject of singleness. It says that, basically to summarize, first of all, we should stop looking at singleness as a season and start looking at it as a gift from God.
Yeah.
Because what happens is when we start looking at singleness as a season, it's just like summer, it's just like winter. You can't wait to get out of it. You can't wait to, such that you forget to enjoy that it's a gift from God. It's a time for you to get to bask in the Lord. It's a time for you to get to build, relationships with your community around you. For instance, like you girls, like church community, you understand what I'm trying to say? A time for you to get into your word. But the moment you start looking at it as like a season, just like how people don't like winter, and in winter they're like, you can't wait for summer, that's the same thing. When you are single, instead of enjoying the time that you get to spend with the Lord alone, with no distraction, the time you get to spend with your friends, with no distraction from a relationship or anything, you start thinking, you're even miserable to job. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So just like appreciating, just like as Paul says, that I would rather have you guys be single than anything else, But if you can't, if the passions are overpowering you, you should marry. But singleness in and of itself is a gift from God.
Yeah.
And you know what, in relationships, don't feel bad. You're also in a place where it's also a gift.
Yes,
because you're also growing
in a
hopefully. I hope you're growing in your relationship.
Else. Anyway, second last question. Would you remain friends with your ex?
Can I leave? Hell no. To the no. Hell no to the no. Hell no.
As you are dancing away, agreeing.
I'm joking. Wait. I'm joking, man.
There's no joking there.
I know people who do it and it works out, but some of us have tricky pasts, guys.
Toxic.
Personally, I really do think it's toxic.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your ex? What are you guys talking about? Like, I'm speaking from experience. I was friends with an ex before. We were friends, right? Then we became lovers. Then after the breakup, we were friends again. Do you understand? And after that, I got into a relationship. Well, not directly after that, but I got into a relationship with someone, and I was still friends with this guy. And it caused problems in my relationship. It just doesn't work. There's no point.
Let me give my example. Yeah. I believe that my partner should not be friends with their exes, and I should not be friends with my exes, because there's just so much history. No matter how little it is, fact is, I have feelings for this person, and this person knows how to and if they wanna destroy my relationship, guys, I feel like I'm giving them the key. And I don't want that. No matter how strong I think I am, this person knows me at my vulnerable state. So I feel like I can't whatsoever. Now I'm a person who, if it's yo bro, I think we should end, I'm going to wash my hands with a sanitizer, Dettol, anything basically to wash my hands off of you and put a whole new perfume on me, because I'm done with you. You're my past, but
bottom line.
But guys, listen, it becomes hard when you're like in the same church or in the same circles. How do you handle that? Because this person is your fellow brother
in Christ.
Be civil.
Yeah.
And if you're friends, if you're in the same circles and like your friends are actually gonna go out and stuff, like if they wanna be around you, and if it's possible that they just want to be around you, let them be around you. If they want to be around him, let them be around him. And if it's still the beginning stages and you'll still have, and like that friction that happens straight after the breakup, then they must let you know, it's okay, this person, just know this person's gonna be there, so you can decide whether or not you are comfortable, feeling comfortable to come through. Like now, give the warning. Don't just invite the two of us a week after we broke up. You invite the two of us to the same space. Don't do that without telling the person.
Because I need to heal. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like even beyond healing, you're still in the space where you haven't even actually defined and gotten to a point where what are the boundaries now with us existing in each other's, whenever we're in each other's spaces? We haven't really defined that, so it can be a bit tricky and awkward, because you just came from a place where you were here. So now it's like you gotta be here
now. Oh my!
But now what happens? What happens here?
Maybe there's me before you now, so it becomes complicated.
So that's what I'm saying. It can be awkward, and nobody wants to spend their time in an awkward space.
And the next topic is very hard, clearly.
Yeah,
yeah.
Especially in the Christian realm, like it becomes a bit tricky. Last question: what tips do you have for Christian guys who are single and ready to mingle? This one comes from one of our brothers, y'all. So
do we get to find out which one?
No.
Say the name.
No.
Group
work, guys.
Group work.
That's my advice. Just make sure you know what you saying that you are ready to mingle. I'm hoping that you already have those things that definitely I want this, definitely I don't want that, and don't compromise on those things, and make sure that compatibility, please just know that list. You can't go back into mingling if you don't know that list, guys.
I'm sorry. Are you saying like they should know what they want, basically?
And the things, the deal breakers, and the things that they are, there are also the positive things that they won't be able to compromise on. I'm not saying now you must know that you wanted a blonde person. And
no, I'm not saying about those things.
Yes.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking this question is I just remembered that I think also, before saying you would want a person like this, obviously, even if not appearance, but character and the quality traits that they possess, it's very important to not say that I'm ready to mingle because I feel like I want a job and it's something that you want out of, but are you that person? Can you be those things? Do you understand? Do you have those character traits? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Let me just end it there because I'm stop preaching.
Stop preaching.
No, I'm joking, but I'm just saying it's very important because sometimes when we think that we are ready for relationships and we want to be in relationships, oftentimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes you find that it comes from a very selfish point of view, like, oh, I want to know the Ezo, I'm just speaking for myself as a female, you know what I'm trying to say. So just, first of all, just pray about it, understand that your intentions are pure. Also pray about the condition of your heart first, that whoever might come in my way or whoever now, I'll open myself up into a relationship, that I may love her. If you are a gent, it's a gent who asked the question, right? That I may love her with the love of Christ and not about, oh wow, now I was a very good friend, what. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Pure intentions, pray about it. The same things that you're looking for in the person, introspect. Are you that person? Are you actually ready to love someone's daughter or God's daughter, in fact? Who's watching.
And I think what's important is also as Christians is that you have to understand what
Yes.
I'm sorry. We're not just gonna get.
Please translate for me.
Oh, sorry. You see how it feels when you need translation. We're dating with the intention of getting married.
Yes.
So when you are looking at the characteristics that this two were talking about, you really need to check or in the long run, is this something that I really can live with? You really need to do things with serious intentions. It's not like
Also, the word mingle is
mingle. That's like vibing.
So it's
but you understand.
I get the word mingle because in our context, then we need to differentiate between dating and courtship. Dating is like I'm getting to know people, talking to different people. Courtship is a very exclusive thing. So I get that.
So courting, guys. We're not dating.
I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, do you guys consider whether or not you see marriage within maybe the next few years a criteria for you to actually choose whether or not you should be in a relationship?
Yes.
And like, what is the next few years? What is that range like? Because some people are strong. Shout out to you, Mappy. Some people are shy. Like, you know, but I'm like, God, that you need to, I feel like for each person actually, because like you have cases like Mappy, and then you have people that honestly it's like Mina cap at 6 months. After 6 months we get married, like I ain't gonna be able to hang on for longer than 6 months, you know?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, you need to also look at yourself and know and first of all, decide for yourself, check for yourself honestly, what is your time limit with these things? And then secondly, do you think you'll be in a space to get ready after that time limit kind of vibe? I think that's also like important. And then obviously you also be looking for someone who's also, you know, because some people really could be three years, and it's like after 3 years, you know, like you'll be stretching it, pushing it. So now if you,
I won't be pushing, I'll still be strong.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. For some people, really, 5 years, it's like, hey, I'm here for it, let's go. But for some people, it's like, yo, like 2 years. I've seen myself trip after 2 years, and when it was after 2 years, that's a trip and fall. That's a trap for me.
Yeah.
So then, if you're not ready to get married within 2 years, should you be getting into a relationship right now?
Sure. No. First of all, I think the question is, why do you want to get married? Here's the thing. Sometimes I find the reason why, and Zinhle mentioned this earlier, you know, number one, your reasoning, it should be for the glory of the Lord.
I mean,
that's number one. Do you understand? Because, like, truth be told, as Christians, sometimes, you know, it's like, yo, when I get married, because why? It's about to go down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
True.
That's the one. That's like the main focus that we focus on more than anything. Of which we should shift our mindset to say, listen, this is something that we're going to be doing for the glory of the Lord. And like you mentioned also, God at the center, working towards, you know, and not be like, oh, in like 2 years. We're not saying it's gonna be easy. We're not saying that, but again, group work, God at the center, you understand, and the glory of the Lord. That's what I'm saying.
Lorna, what happens after it goes down? Like, you can't just tell me no, you can't go 2 years because far, and that's what you're thinking about. No, man, there's so many other things, so many steps that we also need to go through in order for us to just get there. Because okay, fine, we get married on the 16th, 17th. Yeah, what happens on the 18th?
Hey!
I'm just saying, because there's so much. Marriage is more than just, you know, it's more than that. It's about, like I said, the friendship. Is it going to be, because there are times I've heard so many people who are married, they're like, there are times I just don't feel like I want to be that with my partner. But the friendship part, where we can play 30 seconds, we can do this, we can do that. Just because intimacy is not just that. Intimacy goes beyond just that point. So you need to also know how to be with your partner besides that. And you need to have that intellectual understanding before going for that other understanding. So I'm done.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you, my honeys, for answering our questions. And if you like this video, please be sure to click that like button, okay? Like, click it now. As in, like, now.
Click
this moment. Thank you very much.
Bye.
And also click that subscribe button if you have not done that. Comment there in the comment section and tell us how you found this conversation. Until the next video, may the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Bye!